Today we will going to start with the last unit of your structural analysis 1, that is introduction to flexibility method, or simply called as a force method. So under this we will going to see the indeterminate beams and how to analyze that particular indeterminate beam, and to how to get the bending moment and shear force as per the force method, or simply called as a flexibility matrix method. Okay, so let us start with the theoretical background of the flexibility matrix method. So this is nothing but a systematic development of a consistent deformation method in the matrix form as a lead to the flexibility matrix method, and this method is also called as a force method, since the basic unknown are redundant forces in the structure. Okay, so what is the meaning of that? Whatever the unknowns that you will going to calculate in a particular indeterminate structure, suppose theta, moments, then reactions, so whatever the unknowns you will find in your particular indeterminate beams, then at that position you have to replace this particular unknown with the redundant force, and considering that redundant, you have to solve by using the condition of equilibrium to get the final output. Okay, so in this method is exactly opposite to the stiffness matrix method. Okay, so although this stiffness matrix method is a part of a structural analysis 2 that you will going to see in your next semester, okay, that is in 5th semester, so we will not going to talk about this stiffness matrix method right now. So the flexibility matrix equation is given by P, matrix of P into matrix of F is equal to delta minus delta L. This is a basic equation by which you can easily calculate the unknowns. Okay, so if you simplify this particular equations, you will get P, matrix P is equal to F inverse into delta minus delta L. So where the various nomenclature of a formula is P is equal to redundance in the matrix form, okay, that is the unknown redundance. Then F is the flexibility matrix that you will going to form as per the unknown. Delta is the displacement of the support at support. Then delta L is the displacement due to the load. Okay, so this basic equation you have to understand, okay, because this is the equation that is applicable to solve your numerical. So let us directly start with your numerical. So this is a typical indeterminate beam. Okay, analyze a continuous beam as shown in figure by flexibility matrix method and draw the bending moment diagram. So if you see that support A is a fixed support, while B is an intermediate support and C is a free support. Span AB is subjected to the UDL intensity of 60 kN per meter, whereas span BC is subjected to the centroidal load of 100 kN, which is acting exactly at the center. So first of all, in the starting, we have to see that what are the static indeterminacy in the structure. Static indeterminacy means what? SI means what? That is what unknowns you will find in your particular numerical which cannot be solved by using the condition of equilibrium. Okay, so if you see that there are two unknowns, that is MA and MB will be the particular unknown will be there, which will going to form at particular point A and B. So MA and MB will be considered as a redundant. So this is the basic form of this particular method, is that whatever the unknown you will going to be find in step number 1, that you will going to assume as a redundant. Okay, now let us remove the redundant to get the primary determinant structure. So what we have to do is that we have to split the diagram. Okay, so we have splitted the span AB and BC. Okay, now simply apply the external loading, whatever the external loading is there on the particular span, and calculate the maximum sagging bending moment diagram. So what is this maximum sagging bending moment diagram? For AB, WL square by 8 here, and here WL by 4. Okay, in the form of EI you can calculate, because the EI is not given, you have to consider that EI value as constant. For both the span, EI's value is considered as constant. So you have to write the BM value, that is bending moment value, in the form of EI. Okay, now this is the important part. Delta L, you know that what is the nomenclature of delta L? That is a displacement due to the load. So we have to assume that delta 1 of L and delta 2 of L. Okay, what is the meaning of delta 1 of L? Delta 1 of L will be displacement because of the external loading on the span AB, and delta 2L is the displacement of the loading, okay, on the span BC. Okay, so this you have to define in your particular delta L. Now delta 1L is the rotation at A, so shear force at A is equal to, so delta 1L is equal to half into 2/3 into 4 into 120 by EI. So why this we have considered this particular delta 1L as 2/3 into 4 into 120 by EI? Because if you see that this particular diagram, this is a particular parabolic curve is there, okay, and what is the area of this particular diagram that we have considered here? That is the 2/3 base into height. 2/3 we have considered, and base is 4 meter and height is 120. Okay, that we have to consider here. Okay, and why we have considered the half portion? Because we have to consider the half portion. Now delta 1L value is 160 by EI. Similarly, delta 2L is equal to rotation at A, shear force at B. Okay, shear force at B. First of all, we have considered the shear force at A, then second shear force at B. So it will be equal to VB1 plus VB2. Now how this will be calculated? Delta 2L, that is equal to half 2/3. First value is as it is, 2/3 into base into height plus 1/2 into half into base into height. This value we have to consider. This value we have to consider because we are going to calculate the shear force at B. So if you see at if you want to calculate the shear force at B, then in that case the contribution of this half portion and the contribution of the diagram, that is the area of this half portion, we have to consider. Therefore we have considered their half base into height of this particular area and 2/3 into base into height of this particular area. Okay, and we have to multiply it as a half because we are interested in calculating the half portion. Okay, at this point you have to understand that, because at shear force at B, two particular supports are going to merge. Okay, and that particular support are having the different diagrams. So the contribution of that particular diagrams will have to incorporate in your shear force calculations. Okay, so delta 2L value finally will get that 216.25 by EI. Okay, now finally we have the value of formula of delta L. So delta L is equal to, take 1 by EIL as constant as outside the bracket, and inside the matrix you can write it as 160. That is the first value, and the second value is 216.25. These two value will get as a delta L due to the loading. Now the rotation due to the sagging is taken as positive. Okay, and the moment produced due to the sagging is taken as positive. This point you have to understand that. Now to get the flexibility matrix, apply the unit moment at the joint A. Now why we are applying the 1 kilonewton meter as a moment here? Because we know that we are having two unknowns at A and at B, and both are in the form of moment. So therefore we have to replace that particular unknown by using a redundant, and this redundant is in the form of unit load or moment. So here we have considered the unit moment because we are interested in calculating the moment at A, that we have already talked about in step number 1. So therefore 1 kilonewton meter will going to be applied here, and because of the effect of this particular 1 kilonewton meter, the force matrix will be formed as delta 11, delta 12, delta 21 and delta 22. Okay, that is 1 of 1, this is 1 of 2, this is 2 of 1, and this is 2 of 2. Okay, now let us see. So delta 11 is equal to formula ml by 3ei, ml by 3ei. So m is equal to 1, length is 4 divided by 3i, so 1.33 by 21 is equal to ml by 6ei. Okay, so this is 1 into 4 divided by 6ei, 0.67 by e. So this formula you have to understand. So whenever you have to apply the particular moment, okay, at that position the delta value is equal to ml by 3i, and the farther end the value will be divided by 6ei. This formula you have to understand that. Okay, now apply the unit moment to joint A. So if you apply the unit moment, it will be going anti-clockwise here and it will be going clockwise here. So delta 12 is equal to ml by 6ei, this is 12, and here 22 will be equal to ml by 3i and then ml by 3i. These two effect will have to consider. So force matrix will be equal to delta 11, delta 12, delta 21 and delta 22. So finally, while after putting all this value and taking ei 1 by ei as constant, we will get the answer as 1.33, 0.67, 0.67 and 1.33. So if you see that this force matrix, whatever the final output you will obtain is exactly a symmetrical matrix. That is a diagonal matrix and it is always a symmetrical matrix. Okay, so this is a important cross check. Okay, now apply the flexibility equations. Final equation is P is equal to F inverse delta minus del L. Del is equal to 0. There is no external effect of the force. What we have defined del? Let us see that. What we have defined the del. Del is the displacement at support. So in your numerical, there is nowhere is written about the displacement of a support. Okay, so therefore directly we have to consider the value of delta as 0, 0. Okay, now this is a particular matrix equation. So put all these values. So P is equal to ei 1.33, 0.67, 0.67, 1.33 inverse in bracket 0, 0. Okay, minus 1 by ei 160 to 216.25. So solve this particular matrix in your calculator. You will get the final output in the form of m of AB and m of BA. So it will be equal to minus 86 as a minus value of moment, and m of BA is minus 68.08 kilonewton meter. So these are the two unknown moments which will going to be come at particular point of A and point B. So this is the method by which you can easily calculate the unknowns. So this is the final output diagram. This is a sagging moment, bending moment diagram that we have already plotted, and these are the hogging moment. Okay, 86 and 68. Okay, and by compiling these two moments, you will get the net bending moment diagram. So what is the basic of the flexibility method is that while solving the indeterminate structure, that is a beam or a frame or a portal frame, first of all you have to identify the unknowns. Okay, after identifying the unknowns, you have to mark that particular unknown or replace that particular unknown in the form of a redundant, and by considering that redundant in this particular matrix equation, you can put this value and you will get the final outputs. Okay, so this is a particular example of the method. Now let us consider some more example. Second, analyze the continuous beam as shown in figure by flexibility matrix method and draw the bending moment diagram. So if you see that it is a continuous beam, AB, BC and CD are the span and n number of loadings are acting. So here the static indeterminacy is this B and C. Moment B and C, you cannot be calculate the unknown moments of B and C. A and D are the zero moment. Okay, why here A and D there will be no moment? Because these are the free supports. But in the intermediate joint, that is at point B and C, there will be a moment. Okay, and that cannot be solved by using the condition of the equilibrium. So therefore we have to apply the method of flexibility or a force method to solve this particular numerical. So indeterminacy is B and C. If you see that MB and MC are the redundant. Okay, let us remove the redundant. Okay, step by step. So first of all we have to remove AB and BC. Initially we have to calculate the sagging bending moment diagram. Okay, like this, and then this is the third part, CD. and again calculate the sagging bending moment diagram. So delta L is equal to del 1L del 2L, and rotation at B, and this is the similar procedure that we have already calculated. So by this way you can easily calculate the del 11, del 12, okay, del 13, okay, and finally you will get the value of del L is equal to 1 by EI 3946.67 and 2293.33. okay. Now to get the flexibility, apply the unit moment at the joint. So here you have to apply 1 kilonewton, and here you have to apply 1 kilonewton. So why we have applied this particular moment at point B only, okay, and at point C only? Because we are interested in calculating the unknown moments of B, moment of B and moment of C. So wherever we are interested in calculating the unknown moments, we have to apply the redundant as a unit moment in that particular section. Sorry. So here F is equal to delta 11, 12, 21, 22. This is the formula where the unit moment is applied on the farther end, okay. On the farther end we have to get the value as ml by 3ei, and at the point where the particular moment is there, in that case we will get the value of 6ei. So this value you have to understand, or you have to check that, okay, and then you will get the value of del 11, 12, 21 and 22, okay. So by calculating this particular values, you will directly put these values in your final matrix form, and you will get the answer of 1 by EI 8228. Here again, if you see that the force matrix, whatever the force matrix you will obtain is exactly the symmetrical, okay. Now apply the unit flexibility equation. So P F inverse del minus L minus del L. So del value is always 0, as there is no displacement of the particular support. So here finally put the value like this. So we have to apply, or we have to put this value in a matrix equation form, and you will finally get the value of M of AB and B. A is equal to minus 449.97 and minus 174.22. So these are the hogging moment which you will get, okay, in the particular diagram, okay. The next is the sinking of support. So this is another type of the method. So this method we will be going to see in our next lecture. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.